Hello and welcome to the Scripture Memory Bible Tour, where we look at specific verses in the Bible to better understand the overall message of the Bible. I'm your host and average theologian, Ed Gleason. In the first episode of this series, we begin with the first verse of the Bible, a foundational and very important verse, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, it is true that the Hebrew word for heaven, shemayim, is plural, and so it is more technically accurate to say the heavens and the earth, and that is how most English translations render this passage. The point of this passage is that we are introduced at the outset to one God who is the creator of everything up there and everything down here. Now, this is in contrast to the polytheism of the cultures found in the Bible and cultures found elsewhere, in which you do not have a single self-existent, all-powerful creator God. One, I would argue, is too great to be the product of human imagination. But in fact, what you usually find is a host of many gods who are created in the image of fallen man. And they are often the victims of their circumstances, the victims of one another. And when it comes to creation, there's a division of labor of a God who is responsible for this event, this aspect of creation, or that aspect of creation. If you remember the account of Jonah, just before he was tossed off the ship, he tells the sailors that he is the worshiper of the one God, the maker of heaven and earth. And this is in stark contrast, again, to the many gods that these mariners would have worshipped. And when Jonah is thrown overboard and the sea is made calm, they are suddenly convinced of the reality of this one true God. This is also in contrast to the leading view of how we came into existence, which is that matter is eternal and without direction, without purpose, without design, and given enough years, or given enough universes, or both, inert matter accidentally arranged itself into complex, interdependent living things, many of which possess varying degrees of intelligence and consciousness, all of which are adapted to the environments, also accidental creations, in which they find themselves. Now, I will leave it to you to determine whether that's a faith statement or not. Now, there's a little bit more to Genesis 1:1 than just an academic assessment of its differences with polytheistic cultures or with atheistic evolution. There's something in this for you and for me. If we begin with the Creator God, an all-knowing, all-powerful Creator God, we not only do away with the need for long periods of time and for multiple imagined universes, but we also view ourselves very, very differently, because suddenly we see ourselves as deliberate creations. You are more than an over-evolved hairless ape that stumbled into existence by accident. You are put here with purpose, direction, meaning, and identity given to you by your Creator. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.